Hello, Lydia. Hello, Joe. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My name is Tara Clark, and I am from Modern Mom Probs. And it is such a pleasure to meet both of you. I love your backgrounds, by the way. It's super tropical and it's super fun. It makes me want to go to the beach.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So let me start by saying I loved Easter Sunday. It was so relatable because I am Italian American. So we also have figures of Jesus placed on the mantelpieces and stuff like that. So I found it so relatable. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
So what was your inspiration for the fictional Valencia family?
My whole pitch in the meeting was first and foremost, I like to brag all the time because it's not just a moment to brag, but I think uh, it's very important to recognize this. It's Steven Spielberg blessed this movie. He produced this movie, and one thing about Asian AAPI and also the Filipino community, we're not seen or heard, and there is no representation. I mean, still we're struggling, and to get this blessing from Steven Spielberg, the GOAT, you know what I mean? It's a very special moment, and I want to celebrate that as well, because when I walked into Amblin and they asked, and they were like, Steven Spielberg's a fan of your work. He wants to do a movie. What do you want to pitch? I pitched the one thing that I know in my life is one, the most significant part of my childhood growing up was Easter Sunday. That's when I got to see all my cousins, all my nieces and all my cousins and all my aunts and uncles and celebrate and enjoy life and see drama and eat all the food and it was an important time for me, but it was also in my head also the most relatable time. Like this is the best way to tell our story so you can hear our voice, but not only that, you'll relate because you celebrate Easter as well, and you have family that likes to fight and loves to love and loves to entertain each other, and that was the whole reasoning behind this movie. And so yeah, that's why I picked Easter Sunday to represent our culture.
I love it. I love it. I agree 1,000% about the underrepresentation. So kudos to you because we have so many Filipino friends, and it's so nice to be able to share the community and the culture with everyone. So I love that. So in this film, Lydia plays your mother. And I love the relationship between the two of you guys. I'm going to tell you a really quick side note story. Right before we jumped on this call, my mother called me on the phone and she's like, "Oh, do you have a second to talk?" And I was like, "Well, no, not really. I'm about to jump on a work call." And she was like, "All right, so let me tell you what I just bought for your mother-in-law for her birthday. I bought her a watermelon body scrub and a peach candle and this." I was like, Mommy, I got to get off the phone. I'm about to take this very important phone call. And
Oh,
so it's so relatable. Where did you draw inspiration for this relationship on screen?
Um, as a mom myself, it was very relatable, and I have just one child, but I watch her like a hawk growing up. So she's now 24. My mother had six, but she was a mother hen. Everyone. She had she nagged, and my husband complains too that I'm on top of him. I'm always nagging him. There's a lot. There's a lot to relate to. And I was also going to say that with Joe sharing his story, the cast was just so happy to be part of that story too, because we all had similar experiences, and it's so wonderful as actors to get that opportunity as Filipino actors to get that opportunity to tell the story of our families as well. So, and by the way, I lived with my aunt in Brooklyn when she was still alive, and when I first came here, I was 18, and her best friends, our neighbors, were an Italian American family. So that was my introduction to American culture, the Italians upstairs.
And I'm sure they were super loud because we have a tendency to be really loud.
Yeah. They had the only phone in the house too. My aunt refused to have a telephone, so I was always there calling the Philippines from upstairs.
I love that. One of my favorite scenes in the movie, and like I said, there are so many favorite scenes in the movie, but one of my favorite scenes is the karaoke scene. So this question I'm going to ask for you, Lydia. Do you sing karaoke with your family?
I have a cousin who loves to sing with my uncle, but they only sing Frank Sinatra.
What Filipino doesn't?
Yeah.
I have Filipino friends who also sing Frank Sinatra at karaoke.
That's right.
Yeah. For karaoke, the cast, they were all good at karaoke. I'm such a musical theater person that I only know musical theater songs. So for karaoke, I would have to choose musical theater. But the cast, they could sing everything and anything. Joe and everybody. Yeah.
What's your favorite karaoke song then?
Oh, I don't know. Something by Barbara Streisand, probably. Yeah.
That's a good one. Maybe like Funny Girl, something.
Or Memories, Memories, yeah.
Yeah, what about you? What's your favorite karaoke song?
I think every song is my favorite karaoke song. And in my family alone, I think we have about 4 or 5 Magic Mike karaoke machines. And each family has a better version of a karaoke machine. So, and they're not afraid to sing whatever. And it's like some of them shouldn't be singing, and only one person should sing Whitney Houston. And unfortunately, she's not around anymore, and that's Whitney Houston. But for some reason, we got some family members that want to sing some Whitney Houston songs.
Bless her soul. Just let Whitney rest.
Let Whitney rest.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk a little bit about the hype truck because I love the concept. I think it's hilarious. I like just saying it like hype truck. It cracks me up. Where did that come from?
That's just, I think every family has a cousin. They always have that one cousin that's just, for some reason, all the adults love them, but all the kids know that this one's a goon. It's like, come on, how are you not seeing this? Why does everyone love him? So that's basically, I think every family can relate to Eugene's character. And how do you not fall in love with Eugene? He's so good in this movie.
Yeah,
he's so good. He's so talented. I hope he's in 1,000 more movies after this because loved him. He was incredible. I loved him. Yeah. It made me laugh too. So my husband works in a hospital and he works with a lot of Filipino nurses. And I was telling him that I had watched this movie and he was like, did they refer to each other as sister? He's like, a lot of times there's like a, hey sister kind of thing. And I was like, no, I didn't really catch that in the film, but he was making me laugh about that because I think, he works with, like I said, so many Filipino nurses that he often like embraces, like they'll bring like a potluck lunch, like we'll all share like their different like rice meals and stuff like that too. So he always partakes in that.
I love that.
We've like welcomed him into their community there at the hospital.
Well, I know with Filipinos, they will always call an older person either aunt, tita, or if you're even older than that, grandma, lola. So even if you're not related to them, but you're Filipino, they'll give you that title, the respect.
Right, I love that.
Yeah.
Can I call you tita?
Yes, call me tita, but not grandma.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. You're too young. Look at her, she's so young. You can't do that.
Yes.
How was your relationship with your mother growing up, Lydia?
With my mother, it was a little complicated because she was also my teacher. she was my ballet teacher. She had a ballet school for 50 years, and she really had this dream of wanting to be a performer. And she was for a little bit, but then she had 6 children. So she admired she trained me, and she admired me a lot, but pushed me. But and then she sent me here to the States, but was always worried about me, and she named me after her. She was also Lydia. Yeah. So it's yeah, I am writing a show about her. So she is very special to me. Definitely.
And Jo, did your mother call you 15 times a day?
That's basically the whole movie right there. It's art imitating life. So, you know, the whole feud, you know, the family feud that you're seeing, the aunts, you know, my mom and the aunt, this is all real stuff, man. So
real quick question about like your process. Like, do you wake up in the middle of the night and say like, you know what, I have ideas, I gotta write these down? Do you take notes on your phone? Like, what's your writing process like?
Oh, my writing process is easy. One, it's my 33rd year in stand-up, right? So now it's to the point where I just remember stories and do them on stage, and it just comes out the right way. And the more truth that I can put inside the story, the better. You know, sometimes I'll say some stuff where I'm kind of like, oh, I shouldn't say that, but if I don't, it won't be authentic. And I want people to relate to it, no matter what. You know, I don't want you to be Filipino to get my stories. I want you to just listen to my story and go, oh yeah, you know what? My mom did the same thing, or my son did the same thing. So yeah, I just like to tell those stories, and that's how I do it.
I love it. Keep telling those stories, Jo.
I will.
Yeah, Jo is amazing. That's true. He comes up with these things, I think, because he just has a great sense about people. You know, he knows what we need to hear. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I thought that about the sermon when you were at church on Easter Sunday, when you got up. I'm sorry if that's like a spoiler, but you got up and gave a sermon, and I just thought, I was like, that's great. First of all, why don't they do that at church? I feel like we would go back if maybe there was more of that.
Yeah, I feel that way too. And that's so funny you said that, because, you know, that sermon was scripted, but Jay just looked at me and he was like, hey, knock this script out, knock the words out, but feel free to go off the page a lot. We wanted to try and put a scene in the movie where I'm a stand-up comic, but we didn't want to put me in a theater. So we were trying to find a place, and Jay was like, church, we'll find a way to put you on stage in church. And that was that scene right there. And I literally just went for it on that one.
And you knocked it right out of the park, or right out of the church.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lydia and Jo, for taking the time to chat with me today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I want everyone to go out and see Easter Sunday. It was amazing.
You're awesome. Can you reach out to my publicist? I'd love to continue more with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Katie.
Hey, Universal people, hook me up with that.
Yeah, we will.
Awesome.
You're awesome. Thanks,
guys.
You're welcome.